Hello everyone, this is Lavon Cason, back at it again with another video. And you're probably wondering to yourself, if you are a new subscriber to my channel, why this is can this game run the Atari VCS video? Let me give my explanation. You see, in the Lavon Cason channel, I like to do not just gaming videos, but also reaction videos and tech videos, such as tech reviews on tablets and smartphones. And I also like to discuss, some tablets that I'm interested in. Or if I find an article about a certain tablet that is interesting, then I'll discuss that on the YouTube channel. And also the same thing applies with smartphone. If I find an interesting smartphone article, or an article of an interesting smartphone, I will have a discussion of that on my channel. But let's get on to the video that I'm reacting to. It is called Every Major Franchise Xbox Now Owned. The video was made by Gamespot and it is on the Gamespot YouTube channel. So, let's begin.
Microsoft has agreed to acquire Activision Blizzard for $68.7 billion, making this acquisition the largest buyout in video game history. And that's not by any small margins. Prior to this, it was Take-Two's acquisition of Zynga for $12.7 billion, which only happened a week ago. If Microsoft's acquisition of ZeniMax Bethesda wasn't enough of a big deal, well, then it's hard to imagine it getting any bigger than this. With Activision Blizzard now coming into the fold, that makes Microsoft the home to 34 developers.
Okay.
So, here's an updated list to every major franchise and studio that Microsoft now owns. Let's start with the new ones to the Xbox family. Activision, which basically means Call of Duty. That's right, Call of Duty and all of its developers.
So, Call of Duty, this year's Call of Duty, the one that has single player and multiplayer and Warzone will still be coming on that PlayStation 5. In fact, Warzone will still pretty much stay on the PlayStation 5. But as far as the mainline Call of Duties goes, the ones that have the single player and its own multiplayer, I do wonder, will that be eventually exclusive to Xbox and PC? Because Microsoft has been lately trying to make Game Pass a really big thing and trying to make that successful. That is something to think about right there, especially if you are the type of person that just loves Call of Duty, but not necessarily, mess with Xbox like that. It's just something to think about, PlayStation 5 only owners. Something to think about.
Developers, which are quite a few, including Treyarch, responsible for Black Ops, Infinity Ward, which spearheads Modern Warfare and Warzone, and Sledgehammer Games, the folks behind Vanguard and World War II. Along with it, that means all of COD support studios like Raven Software, Beanox Entertainment,
Raven
Radical
used to make games
and High Moon
such as
Studios.
Marvel Ultimate Alliance, X-Men Legends, and they used to make other games too.
An interesting twist, this also now means Crash Bandicoot is under the Microsoft umbrella. Developer Toys for Bob, makers of the recent Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time, and Skylanders,
Activision,
also making Spyro.
At the time, decided to make Toys for Bob a Call of Duty studio. Like Activision. This is how I felt like, come on, you got more franchises than Call of Duty. Use them. Well, hopefully they will be utilized now that Microsoft owns Activision now.
A Microsoft property now. Oh, and Tony Hawk. The Tony Hawk game franchise has been a part of Activision since its conception in 1999. The recent remake of 1 and 2 is developed by Vicarious Visions, which has since been made a subsidiary studio of Blizzard. Now let's go on to the other part of this acquisition, which is Blizzard, which now makes Microsoft the adoptive parents to some of the biggest franchises in gaming history. We are talking Warcraft, Diablo, StarCraft,
I can see
Overwatch,
Diablo 4
Hearthstone,
being exclusive
and
on
Lost Vikings.
Xbox
This is
and PC.
especially fascinating considering the
I can definitely
emphasis
see
some
that.
of these games have in the esports realm, specifically Overwatch. This money-making train doesn't start and end with console and PC gaming, but also mobile, since developer King is a juggernaut all its own under the Activision Blizzard acquisition. With King, Microsoft will own Candy Crush, Farm Heroes Saga, Diamond Diaries Saga, and Pet Rescue. For context, King was acquired by Activision in 2015 for $5.9 billion.
Oh, that's interesting.
So
That's interesting. An ad. No, I don't really care. I don't really care about this.
are the major franchises and studios now coming into the big ol' house of Microsoft. But while we're at it, let's go over all the other stuff that Microsoft also now has. In 2020, Microsoft surprised all of us with the acquisition of ZeniMax Bethesda Softworks for $7.5 billion. And to think that number was shocking. Here's what that brought along with it. Bethesda Game Studios, of course, developer of the mainline Elder Scrolls games, Fallout, and the highly anticipated soon-to-come Starfield. ZeniMax Online, developers of the Elder Scrolls Online. Tango Gameworks, makers of The Evil Within, and, interestingly, the Sony timed exclusive Ghostwire Tokyo. id Software, the devs responsible
Doom
for
Eternal.
Doom and Quake. Arcane Studios, the folks responsible for Dishonored, Prey, and the PlayStation timed exclusive
Xbox being the home for Western RPGs and the FPS genre.
Deathloop. Machine Games, or rather, the Nazi ass-kicking studio. These are the folks that revitalized Wolfenstein back in 2014 with New Order, and are helming a new Indiana Jones game, and I know possibly...
You know, I'm not going to lie, guys. I am excited to see what that Indiana Jones game could become. You know, I really hope that it's third-person action-adventure game instead of first-person. That is just me. Let's keep on playing this video.
They're working on Wolfenstein 3. I hope. That would be cool for me. Yeah. There's also Roundhouse Studios, but as of this video, what they're working on is still a mystery. Then, there's the OG Microsoft first-party devs. The ones that Microsoft's been collecting and picking up over time. But don't be...
You know, since Microsoft has purchased, Activision, I'm still questioning, what does Xbox have for their Xbox Series S and Series S in 2022? Like, what games do they have for this year? That is a question that still needs to be answered.
Fooled. There's some heavy hitters here to bolster Microsoft's enormous catalog of first-party IPs. So of course, there's 343 Industries, the all things Halo developer. World's Edge, they're the devs that oversee Age of Empires. The Coalition, the studio that took over the Gears of War franchise. The Coalition recently worked with Warner Brothers on the impressive Matrix Awakens experience. Is a Matrix game on the way under the Coalition Microsoft name? Only speculation, but I'm sure it'd be cool. Compulsion Games, developers of We Happy Few, with something unannounced cooking in the oven. Double Fine Productions, the creative minds behind Psychonauts 2, Broken Age, and Brutal Legend. The Initiative, what was simply rumored as Microsoft's big quadruple A gaming studio, is officially working on the next Perfect Dark game. Then there's In Exile, the developer of the Wasteland series. Mojang Studio, aka the Minecraft Studio. One of Microsoft's also lofty acquisitions a few years back, for the now seemingly modest looking but still by no means cheap and
I wonder if the Nintendo Switch is gonna get any of the Activision games now since Microsoft owns them. I wonder for that as well.
in any regard, $2.5 billion.
Will any of their
Ninja
games
Theory,
come
the
on
folks responsible
the next
for
Nintendo
Hellblade
Switch?
and its upcoming sequel, Senua's Saga Hellblade 2. They also did Bleeding Edge and are working on the experimental game Project Mara. Obsidian, the role-playing devs. We're talking The Outer Worlds, Fallout New Vegas, Pillars of Eternity, Grounded, and the upcoming Avowed, as well as The Outer Worlds 2. Playground Games, the Forza Horizon devs, but in an interesting twist, they're also helming the upcoming Fable reboot. Speaking of Forza, there's Turn 10, who oversee Forza Motorsport. Then there's Rare. These video game veterans are responsible for Sea of Thieves, Banjo-Kazooie, and
What is
the upcoming Everwild.
What is that
Lastly
game?
is State of Decay.
What is it? We still haven't seen gameplay or anything of Everwild, man. Like, can we at least see something of that game? Like, at June or March? Like, we haven't heard anything, man. Nothing.
Developer Undead Labs, who are currently working on State of Decay 3. So, yeah, that's a lot. Those are 34 studios and the many, many big old franchises that are now under the Microsoft name. But back to the Activision thing. Aside from the games, what does this mean for the future of Activision's leadership? Microsoft is buying Activision Blizzard at the height of a lawsuit filed by the California Department of Fair Employment and Housing against the company for sexual harassment and discrimination directed toward women at the company, with much of the attention falling on the shoulders of Activision CEO Bobby Kotick. Until this deal closes in 2023, Activision Blizzard will operate independently. But after, Bobby Kotick is expected to leave the company, with Activision Blizzard reporting to Phil Spencer as the CEO of Microsoft Gaming. This is a meaningful shift in the perception of the company's leadership and values, which will hopefully have a needed ripple effect across the culture of Activision Blizzard. Nonetheless, the lawsuit continues with the intention of an $18 million settlement to compensate and make amends to eligible claimants. There are still many, many questions, however, what this deal means for exclusivity. Will Juggernaut franchises like Call of Duty only be where Game Pass is available? On the flip side, however, Microsoft continues to support Minecraft with regular updates across multiple platforms, so it looks like time will tell. After all, we still haven't seen the full effects of the Microsoft Bethesda acquisition. Bethesda games like Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo are still PS5 exclusives at the moment. Then there's the case of Psychonauts 2, which was multi-platform. Now, of course, that was abiding a contractual obligation before the acquisition.
I wonder, will that game come to Switch? Psychonauts 2, I wonder that. Because that game would be a perfect fit for the Nintendo Switch. It just would be.
With Microsoft, but nonetheless,
it's a platformer and everything.
Alright, thanks for watching. And for everything news related with games, stay here at Gamespot, the place that talks about games a lot.
Alright, so the video is pretty much over at this point. So, when I first heard that Microsoft bought Activision, I was like, no way. There's no way that this is true. No freaking way. This can't be. And once I found out that it was true, I was like, holy crap. Holy crap, man. Like, that right there just made probably one of the, or in fact, the biggest news in 2022. In fact, this will be a topic that will be discussed throughout this decade, pretty much. Now, whether that it's a good thing or a bad thing that Microsoft bought Activision, you know, when it comes to the games themselves, you know, working environment wise, you know, it'll be way better. It'll be way better now that the Activision workers are now with Microsoft. But, man, this, I'm still processing that Microsoft bought Activision. Like, oh man. But PlayStation 5 will still sell. PlayStation 5 will still have games. But I do hope that Sony thinks about bringing some of their older IPs back to the PlayStation 5. Like a new medieval game, or heck, maybe even Jet Moto for PlayStation 5. Like, that would be neat. Because Sony has some IPs that haven't been on a PlayStation system for a while, and I think some of those deserve a return on that PlayStation 5. But with this generation, things are going to be interesting. You know, it's going to be interesting to watch Microsoft and where they go. It's going to be interesting to watch Sony and where they go as far as, you know, games and all that other stuff. So this generation is not just going to be, oh, Sony just easily wins and Microsoft offers nothing. No. It's probably going to be more like the 7th generation where both Microsoft and Sony have something to offer for each of their gaming systems. So that's pretty much all I have to say in this video. What do you guys think of Microsoft buying Activision? Like, that is something that I am still processing. Like, the fact that that just happened, like, whoa. Like, just whoa. But see you guys later, and I hope you guys have a good day, and peace. So now that you have made it to the end of the video, I want you guys to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and when you hit that notification bell, you gotta hit all notifications, so that way you can be notified for future Lavon Cason tech videos, future Lavon Cason gaming videos, future Lavon Cason live streams, and also other videos that I do, such as, you know, reaction videos and things of that nature. Bye.